Hey, it's Mike over at fishyourassoff.com. And today what we're talking about in our fishing class is how to properly put braided line on your reels. You know, there's more to it than just tying it on there and letting it rip, because the problem with braided line is that it doesn't have a lot of friction. So that's why a lot of the knots, the normal knots you would tie with regular mono, just don't hold with braided line. So you actually have to go through a few steps in order to get it right. So I just want to go ahead and explain how to do it, so you don't lose any awesome fish because you didn't have your braided line tied on to your reel right. So let's go ahead and go through the steps. All right, how to properly spool your reels with braided line. All right, first of all, step one, you start with mono. See, a lot of people don't realize that, but mono, because it has so much more friction than these braided lines, it's really gonna stick to your reel better. So the way I do it is, I'll start with mono, and I'll use a lot. I might use, I don't know, 30 yards, 40 yards or so of mono on my reel. Just to give a nice base. And then what I'm going to do, I just do a square knot. I don't really know any fancy how to tie it to a reel knots. I just use a square knot on there. And then I put a little piece of electrical tape over that knot. So that's how it's initially tied to the reel, is just like that. Now, step number two, you got to get the mono tied in a very strong knot to your braid. So you got to marry the two lines together. I didn't want to cover this here because I already have a video about it. So go to www.fishyourassoff.com, and underneath the video link there's a instructional video on how to tie a double uni knot, and I use like pieces of rope so you can actually see it, because a lot of times, you know, when you try to make a video, you really can't see the actual knot. But so go to the videos link on fishyourassoff.com, and you'll see exactly how to tie a uni knot to marry a mono with a braid, or even a fluorocarbon with braid. It'll teach you how to do that. Step number three, you want to fill that spool. You're going to need lots of line. It'll cast better, it'll cast further. You just really want to use a lot of line. You know, a lot of times I'm fishing for some of these, bigger fish. Like maybe it's a shark I'm fishing for, or a large tarpon. You really want to make sure you have 250, 300 yards of line on your reel, because those big ones are they'll spool you if you have anything less. You know, if you're fighting a black tip or a big tarpon, you might just run out of room on your line there. And that's another great thing about braid, is its diameter is smaller. So, you know, you might have a 20-pound braid on that only has a diameter of 6 or 8 pound fluoro. So you can fit a lot, mono. So you can fit a lot more of it on there. And then, of course, step four, go out there, catch yourself tons of fish. So that's it. That's how you do it. A lot of people don't realize that you should start with mono when you're putting braid on a line if you've never used braid before. There's pros and cons to each kind of line, so you have to decide. You know, some people just are never ever going to switch to braid. Some people, that's all they fish with is braid. You know, they've gotten out of the mono thing altogether. But you have to decide that. Like I said, there's pros and cons. You know, braid doesn't stretch. That's one of the pros. It's also a con sometimes. It's such a hard hookup. A lot of times you want some stretch in your line. I don't want to go over that. Maybe that'll be a different video for some other day. But you can see more of this information right on our website. It's www.fishyourassoff.com. We have a how-to section. We have a where-to section, videos. You can read articles, whatever you want. It's all right there. So go ahead and check it out. But that's it for now. Just wanted to cover this, another one of our little classes. Till next time, we'll see you then. All right, bye-bye.